just give you a sense of where I am. I'm here on Shotwell Street, and here's the EFF office, Electric Frontier Foundation. And here's the entrance. So I'll just give you a little bit of sense of what it looks like. So the front entrance and various offices of lawyers. Now here's the coffee room, and
I just think we should go through this formal, like,
here is where the interview will occur. And a nice little graphic of the EFF. Michael Crook,
Right.
using the DMCA, was it Section 512, is that how it's called?
Correct.
Could you give some details on that?
Sure.
I probably just covered it generally.
So yeah, at EFF, we're big fans of free speech, and we encourage everyone to shout their views as loud as possible on their own websites or blogs or whatever. So Michael Crook is a very loud shouter. He is a very strong proponent of free speech for himself. He has a lot of opinions, and we're all in favor of that, and he has a lot of opinions about a lot of things. But what happened here is one activity that he did that a lot of people heard about was that he posted an ad on Craigslist, which was a fake ad, where he was claiming to be a woman. And then the responses that he received back, he apparently posted on a website and sort of pointed out the personal information about many of the responders, and that was quite controversial. A number of journalists covered that story. One of those journalists was Jeff Deal, who was the publisher of 10 Zen Monkeys, which is a webzine here in San Francisco. And Jeff and some of his writers published stories about Michael Crook, who he is, why what he did bothered some people, about his history, sort of an investigative reporting piece. Part of that was that Crook appeared on a Fox News interview some time back. And, excuse me.
Sure.
So he appeared on a Fox News interview some time back with Sean Hannity, because he had come out with a very controversial stance about our troops in Iraq. He actually said that they were paid too much, and I think that they were lazy, and various other critiques. I'm not exactly sure what exactly the critiques were, but there was quite a heated contest between Hannity and Crook, back and forth, a lot of yelling, things like that. And so Jeff and 10 Zen Monkeys had posted a single screenshot image of the interview, again showing how controversial a character Michael Crook was, and part of this overall profile. So while Michael Crook was comfortable being very outspoken on his own issues, he seemed to have a problem with this, and he wanted this image down. I guess he didn't like it for some reason. He didn't like the fact that the report included the image. So he invoked Section 512 of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. And what that allows you to do is, if you are a copyright owner and somebody posts one of your copyrighted works on a website somewhere, it's a sort of fast takedown procedure that allows you to send a notice without even filing a lawsuit to the provider who's giving the space on the website or who's providing the bandwidth, and tell them that this is illegal and that it should be taken down. But in order to do that, you have to be the copyright owner of the image or the work in question. And Crook has studied copyright law. He writes about it on his blog. He says he knows copyright law, and yet he claimed to be the copyright owner of the Fox News interview. And that was completely wrong. And we believe that he knew that it was wrong, but that he hated this image so much that he misused the law in order to censor the image. When you do that, there's a provision in Section 512 that says anyone who abuses the law can be sued for the costs to the speaker, to the person who posted the image or who hosted the image, and can be fined accordingly. And so we felt that this was a challenge to the free speech rights of Tenzin Monkeys and Jeff Deal, and so we brought a lawsuit to stop Michael Crook from sending these notices, and also to compensate Jeff for the expenses that he had to undergo, because he had to switch hosts and he had to reconfigure his websites, and it cost him a lot of time and money, and also it just forced him to take the image down and censored his free speech rights.
So this happened more than once, right?
Yeah, so Michael Crook has also been a sort of repeat offender in this arena. He's been sending a lot of takedown notices around this image, and actually we've seen some reports that he has sent takedown notices as to things he's written and other stuff. And it's funny because the things he's written he actually does have copyright to, and so that would raise some issues of whether it was a fair use to quote him, which we believe it was. But this image in particular and other images of him, he seems to claim that he has copyright, even though all of the descriptions of copyright clearly say he doesn't.